what do you want to do? Do you want to do do it each, or do you want to do?
Could do that.
Yeah. Have you done it yet?
So I did one with Kim Golden, and we did kind of a split session. So I coached her, and then she coached me, and then I did one with Brittany.
Yep.
Yep. And she just coached me the entire time.
Yeah.
So have you done any yet?
Yeah, I've done the same with Brittany, and she did the same thing. She just coached the whole time, and then I've done with Laurie, and we did the split as well.
Okay.
And I think I prefer the split because,
I like it too.
because then you get to play both. Awesome.
Yep.
We'll do that.
Agreed. But you get to go first.
Which way?
I don't. Okay. So if you want to coach first, then I'll coach.
Let's do that.
Okay, great.
Okay.
All right.
Go.
So just give you what I'm thinking.
Give me your paragraph. Go for it.
And then give you what I got. So I have not been able to. I haven't been doing the things I've been writing down on my list of things to do. It's driving me insane because obviously at some point I wrote it down. It's something that needs to get done. It's something I want to use to move forward. But the resistance is so strong that I'm like, yeah, it doesn't really matter. I could do it again. I could do it tomorrow. It's just a little small thing. It's nothing that I have to do right now. I'll make some more time tomorrow. And then I skip it and I look back at it and I'm like, I could have done, it could have already been done. So then I start beating myself up over it.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what I'm running into.
Okay. Can you give me a specific? So what's something that you did like yesterday that you put down on your to-dos and you didn't do?
For the month of September through Self-Coaching Scholars, I decided the thing that I wanted to create in the month of September was a children's book. My kids love to read and I like to draw and come up with a little story, and I think they would really enjoy it. However, I'm not making it like, it really is just breaking it down into small tiny things, but I guess they're so small that I'm like, yeah, I'll just lump it all together the next day and then I don't do it.
Okay, so what was one of the things yesterday that you went,
So my next step was to kind of flesh out each scene and with like a beat, a turn, like kind of string it all together. And I'm basically telling myself, well, I don't know if that's crazy enough or they'll like it enough, or I'm just, I guess, procrastinating putting it together. Like I feel like it's not going to be good enough.
So that's what you're feeling. So you're feeling what? So you're thinking that it's not going to be good enough.
Correct.
What feeling is that generating for you?
It is a feeling of maybe lack. I'm trying to think. Just not good enough. What is a good word for not good enough? I need my feelings list. I got to find that thing.
Do you feel unsure? Do you feel discouraged, disappointed? Do you feel some shame maybe?
Probably I think honestly it might be a little bit of fear for like if I write it down and I go with it and I go down that path, then I'm like, I wasted that time going down that path.
What if that was true? What if you did create this book and no one likes it? Not a single kid picks it up. What if your kids go like, Mom, this is rubbish?
We're reading it anyway.
Right?
We put a lot of time into this. We're reading it, okay?
You will sit down and you will love it.
You will love it. So, I mean, honestly, you're right.
What happens if they don't like it?
I know what they don't like, and we could try something different.
Right? But what if them not liking it is completely neutral, is what I'm suggesting.
And it is, because they're 6 and 3. They have no idea what good taste is, They they haven't been on this earth long enough.
So why are you letting the judgments of a 6 and a 3-year-old who haven't even been able to judge your work yet?
Right. I know it sounds, well, it's a prevailing thought, I think, because it doesn't just happen with that. It's with a lot of like anything different or creative or something that I want to do outside my norm.
Mm-hmm.
It's a prevailing thought. What if it's not worth it? You know, like even as coaching, like the only reason I feel like I'm all in is because I put down a big chunk of money and I'm all in.
And it has to work. Yeah.
It has to work.
Yeah.
So
what if you dug down into that, into the coaching, and have a real look at what are the thoughts and the feelings that you're practicing there?
Mm-hmm.
Because those, how to think and feel over there in a way that empowers you and goes, shit's getting done.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can really dig down into what's happening there, you can take it and move it over into all of your creative endeavors.
Right.
Because you can do it. It is available to you. You've got evidence that you go, when you've committed,
right,
you do it.
Go all in. Yeah.
Right. So what's happening with coaching? What are you thinking over there that's different?
I feel like, because I have my husband's like support 100%. Like I think he believes more in me than I believe in me when it comes to that stuff. He's like, you're meant for this. You have to go do it. And I'm like, you're
that's
right.
Pretty common, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And I think for this, I'm willing to suck. Like, not a lot of stuff I'm not willing to suck. Like I'm pretty good at writing. I'm pretty good at drawing. Like, I feel like that should come more naturally, but like, I'm willing to give this.
So why are you willing to suck at coaching?
I don't want to, but it is what it is to understand it. But I think, because like I was saying, I've been really good at writing and drawing, and I think it should be like really, really good.
Yeah.
Whereas with coaching, I have more leniency with myself, I guess, trying to learn how it works. Because like I was alluding to before, I beat myself up. Like, if I'm not doing the thing, then I put a model on top of it, and I'm like, oh, well, I should do this, or I should do that. And all my shoulds are just shooting all over myself.
I love it.
And good.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Well, how long have you been like wanting to create these children's books and doing your drawings and doing your writing and stuff?
It's always been I've never actually put it forth. Like, I draw from time to time, and then I write like blog stuff. But I don't usually like share it or promote it or anything like that.
Yeah.
But so I mean, it's just kind of been on the side.
Yeah, I kind of wonder whether you've really practiced not putting it out there. You've practiced not going all in. So you have like these beautiful neuro pathways there that are, that lead to not committing to taking action. Whereas with coaching, it's brand new. You don't have that practice of not showing up for yourself. So it's so much easier for you to go, no, I'm committed, I'm doing it. Right. Whereas with this, you've got a lot of history there of not showing up for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've done something similar in the past where I've gone, where's an example in my life where I have committed, and then strip it back. What are the thoughts? What are the feelings? And then how do I then feel that? Because I know I've got evidence in my life that I've done this. How then can I apply it here? Knowing that you have this whole pathway in your brain that wants to go a certain direction, and you're going to have to like stubbornly hack at those trees and go, no, we're going this way.
Right.
So with coaching, there's like a feeling of like commitment, it sounds like.
Yes. Yep.
And
I'm gonna write it down real quick. Commitment.
Yeah. And I think there's determination as well, because you said, you know, you've committed a huge chunk of money and this has to work no matter what.
Right.
So you're really determined.
Yes.
And so what are the actions when you feel really committed and determined?
So one of them, I love coaching, actually. I think it's a lot of fun, like talking to figuring it out, but also my stomach is in knots before I like get on and talk to people. Like, even though like no one's judging me, like it's the most judgment-free thing that you could possibly do.
Yeah.
It's like committing or setting aside that time. I think because I've set a time with you, I'm going to show up for you because I'm not going to make you waste your time.
Sure.
And it's the same thing like with the class. I'm going to be here at 7.
What about when it comes to doing the course materials? You're not committing to it, meeting up with anyone else doing that. How are you committing to yourself there?
That I do in the mornings. So I wake up at like 4 because I have, you know, the 2 little ones. So I wake up at 4, and I have started that a few years ago. So I like write, before I got into this, I would journal every morning.
Yeah.
And just like a thought download before I knew what a thought download was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I started working this stuff in, you know, my self-coaching scholar homework, and then they start waking up earlier. So now I'm not really sure how we're going to make this happen, but, so it is what it is. I decided one day that that's what I was going to do. I was going to wake up and do this. And that's what I've been doing.
And that's what you've been doing. So again, it sounds like it's commitment. You made that commitment to yourself that you would show up. I mean, it is like Brooke talks about it all the time. It's so easy for us to turn up committed to someone else. Yeah. But it's one of the hardest things to commit to ourselves and do what we say, which is what September is, isn't it? September's about showing up and doing your stuff. So it's very interesting that's where your brain is.
It is, isn't it? But I mean, I definitely enjoy it. And I guess I really need to look at like, what was it that made me say, okay, I just need to get up and start writing every morning. And the other thing is, I don't judge myself or kick myself in the ass for if I do have to skip a day, if the girls get up early. Yeah. You know, like I don't like it. I feel like my day is off, but I'm also not beating myself up for not getting it.
Yeah.
So
I think it's interesting. You mentioned that with coaching, one of the things that you find about coaching is that you find it fun. Whereas when it comes to doing your writing and your drawing and creating these books, it does not sound fun.
It's not, because I'm still like mentally rolling it around in my mind. Like, how can I get point A to point B? How can I make it fun for the character to get from point A to point B? And I'm wrestling with that one. I think it's because I don't have the story completely figured out yet. It's like,
but see, what if that didn't matter? Like, I mean, what if you were a discovery writer and you just have to put something down? Like, you can't edit something doesn't exist. So it's
true. Yeah. A discovery writer. I've never heard of that before. Is that an
no? Yeah, no. It's called pantsing. So
from NaNoWriMo. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just,
and see, I've never identified myself as that. I've always had to have the full picture so I could know where am I going.
What's your next step, right? I think you might be a bit of a perfectionist.
Oh, you reckon?
I recognize my people.
Discovery writer. I'm going to look into that and see if I can just
meld
out there.
Meld the two. Yeah. Like, I mean, you can plan and then just write and see what happens and discover. Because I mean, because like I write, like my sister and I have co-written 3 fantasy novels. And one of the beautiful things is that we've discovered if you just have a sentence for a chapter, and then whatever happens, happens. There's so much more joy in the writing because you're discovering, and suddenly you find this character's just gone off on this weird tangent and you're like, I love that.
I will have to try that. Yes, because I've been wrestling with trying to figure out how do I wrap it up at the end, and how to, how is it in a neat bow by,
how do I get every step perfect? Yeah. So yeah. And then it prohibits from acting. What if you just had to take the next small step? That's all you had to do. You didn't have to do the whole thing. You just had to take the next small step. Because I think that's what you're doing with coaching, isn't it? You're just going, okay, this is the step that I have to do here. And,
even my stomach's in knots. Yes.
Right? You're doing so brilliantly. I love it.
Feel the feeling and do it anyway.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
I usually push stuff down, and just just keep going, like stiff upper lip, just do what I have to do.
Yeah.
Except for when it comes to something where I'm like, it doesn't really need to be done. But so this is what I did with this one. I told my husband, I will give you $100 if I do not have a little manuscript and some pictures, like a book a dummy book to hand you on September 30th. And he was like, all right, I'm in.
Of course, he doesn't have any skin in the game.
He doesn't care. Yeah, I mean, he does care, but he's like, I could make $100.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe money.
Do you see what you're doing there? You've shifted the accountability now.
Yeah.
You've shifted it to your husband. You've gone, I will be accountable to you.
Yes.
Rather than to yourself.
Yes.
I think you got some work there, honey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is why we're coaching. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I figure if I can, I just want to get it done, like get it out of my head, because it's something, like ideally I'd like to get to the point where I could, and I don't know how to do it yet, but condense the model into something that I can teach my girls in like a fun way.
Yep.
How, other kids don't make them feel a certain way, and like how to.
Rachel Hart, she condenses it down to the think, feel, act cycle, which is beautiful. Everyone understands the way you think determines the way you feel, and it cuts those two the bookends off, and it just easily flips off your tongue, and you can say to your kid, what's the think, feel, act cycle here?
Right.
And it's really accessible. But you gotta remember they're 3 and 6. And absolutely you want to give them the best opportunities to manage their mind. And I mean, they will. That's inevitable because you're their mum. That's going to happen. But little baby steps, just asking, how are you feeling right here? And you know what you're doing there. You do.
Because I see myself in my 6-year-old. Like she is me.
Yeah.
My 3-year-old, she's my husband. She's like zany and hilarious and stuff like that.
Gorgeous.
But my 6-year-old, she's a perfectionist. Like I didn't teach her that. Like she just came out like that.
Yeah.
So I really want her to have the tools, like not feel all the pressure.
Yep. I refer to myself as a reforming perfectionist. I'm not reformed, I'm reforming.
Reforming, yes.
Reforming. So one of the things that I do when I feel that perfectionism thing come over the top is, like, say, for example, it's, we've got to do a blog post. And I'm like, I really don't want to do it. What I do is I go through the model, see exactly what's going on, what the thought is, what the feeling is, go through the model, and then I just do it anyway. So it's like, here I am acknowledging that I want everything in line, everything to be perfect. And sure, I get it. But jog on, I got to get it done. So and every time, like, that procrastination comes in, because that's what us perfectionists do. We don't want to act until we have every step worked out perfectly. And when we don't have it, we go, we need more information. And the best thing that we can do is just to take the next small step and ask yourself, what is the next small step? And you'll get the resistance going, it's just a small thing. It doesn't matter. Do your model, and then do it. And it is that committing to yourself. It's going, okay, yeah, I don't want to do it, but I'm doing it anyway. And
and then just create the evidence as you go, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And you got to think, you only need to get like 3%. What are we? We're now the 7th for you. So yeah, if you get 5% a day done between now and the end of the month, you're done. So like I always try and think of, what's 1% that I can improve? What's the next 1% to just get me in there? And it's so tiny, and you think it's not going to make a difference. But it does. It really does. After 30 days, you got 30% there. I wouldn't renegotiate with your husband and say, hey, I need a...
No, he's willing to take my $100. He really is. He's like, sign me up. I'm there.
We got to renegotiate, my darling.
But I'll have it done anyway, so it won't really matter at the end. But
yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I would go and have a real look, because it does look like your commitment to scholars, to coaching, and your commitment to yourself there.
Yeah.
Apply it over here. I mean, the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to suck, and you're willing to suck over here at coaching. So maybe be willing to suck over there too, because they're 3 and 6. They're not going to like it.
This thing is like, no, it needs to be. I intellectually understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think running that model, because I've been doing like little bridge thoughts and stuff like that, or I'm learning to come up with the weirdest stuff I could possibly think of. Yeah. And like spitballing with my kid in the car, like, well, what if, and she's like, oh, what if this? And I'm like, well, that's cool and zany. So yeah, let's put it in there. Let's see what happens. Because you never know. We'll come up with some wild stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think, like I do think what you need to do. I think
make it fun
for you. Yeah.
I think I need to make it fun and stop making it such a chore.
Yeah. Which is hard when you've been practicing for so long. That it's not fun, that it's scary.
I have a big I feel like fear has stopped me, or my fear of putting myself out there, or rejection or stuff like that, has stopped me from doing quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I haven't even told very many people that I'm becoming a life coach, because they're gonna be like,
why?
You're doing that, Yeah. But I'm getting to the point, because now that I'm 35, I give way less F's than I used to.
Yeah.
So really, go pound sand. Like if you don't like it, that's okay. But I can coach you if you need some help. Come on over.
Right. This is a journey. You're definitely on the way there. You're definitely. I'm 38, so I've had some. I had some brilliant experiences at work where I learned no F's are given, and just move.
It's odd, like 35 kind of, I mean, like this particular, it kind of rocks.
It's pretty awesome, doesn't it? It really
does. Young enough to understand that you're like, I mean, all these people are like all caught up in this stuff, and you're like, okay, we're figuring this out.
Yeah. Cool. Was that helpful?
That was super helpful, Kim.
Super helpful. Okay, good. I'm like, I'm not sure whether I went through a full model there, but that's okay. We're supposed to suck at this. So.
Well, see, so the first time I got on the phone with Kim, I wanted to get in the pool like so bad, because she was talking about something that was like really near and dear to my heart, and I was like, oh my God, I just want to hug you. But it really. And then I saw myself like, okay, Lindsay, step back. You need to see it for overall. It's literally just thoughts. It's your brain saying, this is what it is, but it's not really a problem until you make it a problem.
That's true. That's very true. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, because we have this desire, don't we, to be like really empathetic and go, oh my God, I totally get where you're coming from. But that's not what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to go, we see that's something that I've been practicing. I'm trying to really practice this thought that it's got nothing to do with me.
Right.
It's all about them. So I've got to pull back on my desire to be, helpful or, to make a difference or to be a good coach. As soon as I have this idea that, I want to be a really good coach, I make it all about me rather than.
I am right there with you.
Right?
I recognize my people, see?
Right?
But yes, you're absolutely right. It's because that was my thought is like, I want to be the best. But then I'm like, I'm in the pool. I'm doing all the stuff. I'm doing the backstroke. I'm like, come on, like, get out of the pool.
Could you come a margarita swimming up to the bar? Come on.
Swimming up to the bar. I'm in the pool with you. We are going to have a drink. We're going to drown together. Okay. So
it's going to be so fun.
So now I'm starting because I watched Brittany coach. Like Brittany did like awesome, and I was like, oh, she got her little model thing up here. I was like, go girl.
I'm the same because I was with Brittany as well. Yeah, she's got her boards and she's all dressed up and she's got her hair done, and I'm like,
I know. I was blown away. I was like, you go on with your bad self. Like,
good girl, it's awesome.
I know she's got 3 kids, so it took a minute to like get ready. Go girl.
Get ready. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't have a little board. I want one. I don't have one yet.
I haven't got one yet. I'm the same. I'm like, just small steps. Yeah. Showing up is freaking brilliant. How about we focus there?
Yes.
Brilliant at sucking. That's
sucking. But no, that was super helpful. You did great.
Awesome.
Yeah. You stayed out of the pool. Like it was just enough, like life, like there was like sprinkling of life experiences in there, but it wasn't like you should do this type thing. It was like a helpful. Yeah. Like I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Good. Awesome. I'm glad. Cool. All right. How about we do me? What's the time? Yeah. Do you have time?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Let me think. I have at my workplace, we had this boss that very unpopular boss who I drive coal trains. It's been my job for the past 11 years.
Okay.
And he came into our depot with a mandate to cut costs and make example of employees.
Okay.
And really created a very negative workplace. People were, hated being there. You'd walk into the station and people were just there swearing and arguing, and it just was very toxic. And 2 years ago he left and we had a new boss, and morale has completely changed. People feel empowered. People are like speaking up and saying, what's working, what's not, giving, offering suggestions on how to make the workplace better, that sort of thing.
Right.
And then we found out this week that good boss, effective immediately, is gone.
Okay.
And his old boss is back.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like this dark pall has just come over the depot and everyone's just there dragging their feet and going, this sucks, and and I'm trying really, really hard to not jump in that pool, I guess, and to just go, I really want to just make the circumstance of him being back neutral.
But it's not neutral yet.
It's not neutral. It's really not.
So what could we put in the C line?
In the C line, it would be boss has returned. Yes.
But it's not neutral yet.
It's not neutral, but it's a fact though. It is a fact. He has returned.
Okay.
I've just got another sentence attached onto there.
Okay. What's your extra sentence that goes on there?
It's going to be a shit show.
gonna be a shit show.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of my favorite terms in the world. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a shit show. All right. So when you think shit show, what feeling comes up for you?
I feel angry and I feel anxious as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we were to explore anger, let's see. What, like when you feel anger, like how does that manifest for you? How does that come up?
It comes up as instigating complaining conversations. Like I'll go to a coworker and be like, you know, oh, what do you think about this guy coming back? And, you know, oh, he's such a, sorry, he's such a.
Oh, no, I cuss all the time. You're good. I work at a body shop. We cuss all the time. You're good to go.
Yeah, well, I'm like one of 7 women in a depot of 120 men. So
yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm 1 out of 20.
Awesome. Right? So yeah. So I'm like, oh, he's such a cockwaffle, and you know, and yeah. So I
It's funny because I use twat waffle, but I've never used cock waffle.
I've never used twat waffle. It's funny. I have a 13-year-old daughter, and so when you talk about, you know, any boy that annoys us, you know, she goes like, get out that waffle machine and just cock waffle. See how confident they are, man.
Oh, I love it. So he's a cock waffle. Got it.
He's a cock waffle, right?
So instigating complaining conversations.
Yes.
And then you get confirmation.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Someone confirms that he is in fact a cock waffle. Yeah. And that's what you were looking for, right?
Right. Everyone's agreeing with me.
Of course. And that makes it true.
Yes, it's
true. Does it?
It is. It's true. But that's obviously not the way, like I want to be at work. Like I want, you know, to come to work and feel like I've had a great shift and that, you know, I did my job as well as I could. But when I have those thoughts that, it also adds in these thoughts of, well, what's the point? Like, I mean, he's just going to undermine, you know, the morale. He's, you know, we got to this point where, you know, everyone was doing the barest minimum at work and no one, like we could see where, you know, the company was losing money and, you know, we could see where things could be made more efficient and everyone was just like, nah, not helping. And I'm just like, I don't want to come to work that way. I want to be able to come to work and be, you know, proactive.
How do you want to show up?
I just want to show up as me. Just, you know, just be happy to be there, which I am. I really enjoy the people that I work with, even though there is a sprinkle of cock waffles in amongst there as well.
So, but it's still the same people you're working with, and neither the good boss or the bad boss, like neither one of them has control over
the way I think and feel.
The way you think and feel.
Absolutely.
Neither one. It was literally the circumstance.
Yes. So
thought-wise, because I feel like, you know, you're looking for people to agree with you that he is in fact a cock waffle.
Yes.
His actions could be that, you know, that could be the case, but the thing is it's never about that.
Yeah, I mean, even if he does, it's still neutral.
Correct.
He could act, but I'm not there.
So if you're trying to, so if you're out there talking to people and you're asking them, you know, what do you think? You kind of already know what you're going to get. And basically
I do. Absolutely.
Of what you're looking for. Is there any other way for, like, how did you guys talk to each other when that wasn't the topic du jour?
Yeah, well, it was just yeah, it's just life stuff then, isn't it? It's just like, how are you doing? How are the kids?
Mhm.
Whatever football freaking crap is going on in the background.
So really it had nothing to do with
Yeah,
anybody good or bad at that
that's
time.
it.
So,
That's it.
but the thing is like, I feel like other people are still going to press you and ask you,
Ask me. Yeah.
right. So how do you want to show up then?
How do I want to show up? I want to show up like I want to feel indifferent isn't the right word because I find it hard to attach a thought to indifferent, to him being there and to people asking. I guess, nonchalant is much the same. Maybe curious. Maybe curious is a bit more helpful.
So if you were curious, what exactly would you be curious about? Curious about how?
Well, I mean, it's been 2 years. We don't even know whether he's had some great development. Like, I mean, our company has, he's moved out of the cock waffle and he's just being a normal human being. I don't know. But, I would like to think I'm going to give him a chance. Like, I'm going to allow him, all of us to just do our jobs and because it's like I absolutely get that I get to determine how I think and feel at work.
Mm-hmm. So if your thought was, I'm going to give him a chance.
Yep.
What kind of feel does that bring curiosity up for you?
No, that's scrutiny. Like I feel like that's like it's almost like judgment there. So that's definitely not the right thought. It would be it could be a question. Like I know Brooke always says that we shouldn't have questions, but it would be like, how can I use this experience to be positive regardless?
Is that what you really want though?
I do. Like I like
positive either way.
Yeah. Well, like as in like, as in like my go-to not being he's a cockwaffle and this is shit and this is cast and all that kind of stuff. To instead go it is fun to indulge in that every now and then. But to be able to go, say for example, he reinstigated something that we've worked hard to have made better. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, like I know it sounds petty, but we drive coal trains, so we go to mines and the cab that we're in will get coal dust all through it. And he took away our cleaning products. So we couldn't clean our cab and it was like you touch everything and you're just covered in dust and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so he did these things like we had cleaning products and he insisted that they had to be watered down so the cleaning wasn't effective and all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, well, even if he instigated that, rather than me throwing my hands up and going, this is shit, to go, well, actually, I can take proactive steps. Like, I mean, hell, I could bring my own spray and wipe with me. Good. Right? Yeah. I mean, that's so much better, right? That's so much better than going
about it. Yeah. It's already dealt with. Like you handled it without him ever even being there.
Right.
So I know your thought was a question. How would you answer that question? Your thought was, how can I be positive even when...
It would be, I can handle whatever happens.
Okay. So if your new thought is, I can handle whatever happens, what feeling does that bring up?
I feel calm. I feel confident. I feel
okay.
Easy by breezy. Yep.
So what kind of actions are you looking for? Like what happens when you're feeling calm and breezy and you've got your own cleaning products and
I would be more solution orientated. So rather than focusing on all the problems, I go, okay, well, how do we resolve this? You know, how do I make this part better? You know, and
because he's never going to change. It's just
no,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Always will be.
Yeah.
Or like this, they could change it up and other boss comes back. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's it.
But you definitely don't want to be, you know, riding the wave of emotion that comes with that.
Right.
But, so I guess the part that I'm curious about is what happens when somebody comes up to you and they want you to get in the pool with them. They want you to start going down that path. Do you want to go down that path, or do you want to?
I really don't. I really don't. Because like I always work away and I feel slimy. Like there's like this sludge on my shoulders. I don't like that.
Okay. So what do you do instead?
So it would be just say, hey, nothing's happened yet. Let's just move forward.
Yeah. How are the kids?
How are the kids? How's that local sports team?
Yeah.
And I go, awesome. You don't care, Kim. And I'm like, I know, but you do. It's all good.
So I wanted to do kind of like what you do, because I have worked with someone like that in the past that, you know, I felt like was making my life a living hell.
Yeah.
And I felt like, because she's related to the boss, that I can't say anything.
Yeah.
And now I just expect it. I expect it to come across that way. And then I'm like, oh, you're having a tough day, aren't you? Okay. You know,
it just be crazy. Yeah.
I probably have in fact used that exact phrase. You put that in the model.
Such a good one.
That as a thought, bitches be crazy, because that's in there.
Yeah.
But I mean, and it's literally, you know, just you've expected that. You've come to understand it is what it is. It's never going to change. So the only thing that you can do is manage your own thoughts about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why I love people that know the model, because they know they can do that.
They can do that, right? Sometimes it gets frustrating when you see people in the pool and you're like, honestly, it's so easy. You have a choice in the thought that you're having. And you're choosing.
It's really just noticing. It's just noticing that thought. And it's okay if it still feels shitty the first couple times around, because you're still getting used to it. You're still like, but you've stepped back. Yeah. And you're watching yourself going, oh, okay, well, you know, so-and-so is saying that this guy is back. He's a piece of shit. I agreed with him. I'm like, he's a piece of shit. Yeah. And then I feel slimy afterwards. So what, you know, but you're noticing. You don't have to change it right away. And he's never going to be perfect. Yeah. You can't just say, oh, this guy's great, because you're never going to believe that.
I'm never going to say that. Right? Oh, so, yeah. Awesome. That was really, really helpful, Lindsay. That was really, really good.
Glad. Yeah. I felt better about this one than the other one, because like I still wanted to jump in the pool with you, but I was like, nah, I feel like it was far enough removed that I felt okay. Did I do okay, Kim?
You did great. You did great. Okay. I thought that was super, super helpful. Yeah. And that was fantastic.
Yay.
Yeah. I think the more we do this, the more we go, stay out of the pool, you know, stop trying to be good at this, just suck for a while. Yeah.
I find it easier, like if I'm talking to people like at work, like sometimes, I know you're not technically supposed to coach them without like.
But we do, because why not?
Right? You know, and I kind of practice it a little bit with them without them knowing it.
Yeah.
So like I have a guy that's going through a bunch of stuff right now, and he comes to me for some things, and he's like really worried about a court date that's coming up, and I'm like, you know, trying to help him step back and like, look, you've already done what's been done. So like, did your lawyer tell you what the worst possible scenario was? He's like, yes. And I was like, and how do you feel about that? He's like, well, I mean, it's not that bad then. It just is what it is. Like, you're going to get assigned community service or whatever the case may be, and then you move on from there. So I feel like it's easier to talk to people face to face than it is over Zoom. Yeah. Maybe just because I know a little bit of background. I don't know. But I already feel like I know you. So like,
yeah, same. I mean, it's just so easy to talk, isn't it? I know. I I'm going to use twat waffle, I got to say.
We're just on
I
opposite
will
sides
use
of
it
the
in
world.
traffic today for sure.
Oh,
It's so
man.
fun.
So we definitely have to do this again.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
Very good.
So I'll probably hit you up next week and we can do that again.
Yep.
And,
I'm like I said, I'm a shift worker, so my shifts sometimes are really make it difficult to because are you Central Time or you Mountain Time or Pacific Time?
I am Eastern Time. So it was 7 p.m. I usually try to do it in between my kids' bedtime.
Yep. So the what time was today for you?
September 7th at 7 p.m. for me.
7 p.m. So you're 14 hours. I'm 14 hours in front of you. It's 9 a.m. Okay. It was 9 a.m. for me.
9 a.m. Okay.
14 hours for Lindsay. Because it's like...
That's so cool. I love technology.
Yeah. I had to do a spreadsheet though, because I'd be like calculating where do I put it in this sheet going...
For real. Yeah, I know. I had to like do my little converter. I'm like, am I going to be on time or am I late to this thing? So yeah, we're good. Mine's only an hour difference from Central, but whatever.
Yep.
So very cool.
Awesome.
I definitely enjoyed it.
Yes, same. And I will see you.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes.
Or technically today for you?
No, it is tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. Okay.
It is tomorrow. Yes.
Whatever.
We'll work it out. I'll have my eyes coming out of my head as well. I'll be like, I'm so tired. Everything's okay though.
Well, enjoy the rest of your day, Kim. Have an awesome one.
You too, Lindsay. See you sleep well.
See ya.
Bye.